First of all, I would like to address you and once again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I wish you a good afternoon. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if there is no problem with the voice, let's go with the meeting. I will share the screen. Okay, the first lecture is about static electricity, yeah. Electrostatic is this one. So I hope you can follow this lecture online, yeah. I will try to zoom the screen, yeah. So can you see the screen on your laptop or computer? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So static electricity, general electricity is one of the main reason why we have all the technologies today, right? It's like a miracle that there is this kind called electricity. Yeah. It is really changing our daily life and also has affected almost all of the technology around us. Yeah. Without electricity, you cannot imagine that at night the world be like this. Yeah. So this is a funny, interesting case, yeah, which will be experienced when you first touch, yeah, a start a generator, yeah. This is a ball loaded with charges, electrical charges, and you can see on the screen that your hair is uh, forming a funny gesture like this, yeah, a funny picture like this, because you know that your hair actually has some negative charges, negative electrons in your hair, which will repel with the negative electron that is in the ball. Yeah. So this is actually a ball that can produce net electricity because of the property of the ball, which can be loaded and unloaded, yeah, by connecting to the ground. So in this case, we have a repulsion. Yeah. We will study also about capacitance and capacitors today, yeah, which is closely related with static electricity because the charges can actually be stored in a certain place called capacitor, yeah, and can be released at any time we want, thus produce a high amount of voltage at a short time. We use usually capacitors to uh, start, yeah, like a neon lamp or maybe like heavy electrical instruments, yeah. And that's why in microelectronics and in radios and so on, you will always find a capacitor, yeah. So how actually this thing work, yeah. So uh, we will study today how this thing will work, yeah. So you can observe maybe from your own experience when you comb your hair. And after that, you put the comb near the small plastics or small paper. It can attract, yeah, the small piece of paper. How can it be like this? Because when you comb your hair, actually, there are some electrons that is transferred out and in your hair. So electrons will produce a movement because you use the comb in your hair and therefore produce a net electricity in the comb. Yeah. And when you have the net electricity, the paper can be attracted because the paper also contains atoms, contains electron and protons and neutrons. Yeah. So the electron and protons will attract each other. Yeah. This is the reason why it will attract the paper because of the net or static electricity which is inside of the two objects. Yeah. Also, when you put a flowing water near a balloon, yeah, it can cause also a distraction or a change in the,
Sir,
yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry for interrupting, but I think there's still many of my friends that hasn't been accepted to the Zoom meeting, sir.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, sorry
Let
for
me just,
interrupting, sir.
no problem. This is important because if they are not accepted, I think that I have to change the, yeah, auto setting. Yeah. Okay. So we have new people on the board. Yeah. welcome. Yeah, this is happening because you are also a bit little late. Yeah, okay. Yes. Now, almost all of you are admit, right? I have Muhammad Ramadan is also joining. Okay, please remind me if there are other friends that cannot join. Yeah, we have 24 participants right now. Okay, and is everything okay now? I already admit them, yeah. Okay, so welcome to the board. So this cause of the bending is due to the static electricity between the balloon, which is charged, and the water. You know, water has also polarity, yeah. It has hydrogen, which is positive, yeah, positively attractive, and also oxygen, which is negatively attractive. Is due to the electron configuration in the hydrogen and oxygen atom. Therefore, if you put the water near a charged balloon, it will cause an attraction between the balloon and the charges in the water. Yeah. Also here you can see one of the founding father of electricity is actually Benjamin Franklin, which is also an American statesman. He is one of the founder of America. Yeah. United States of America. If you still remember his story, maybe you can mention alongside him founding fathers of the United States. Yeah. George Washington, also Thomas Jefferson, yeah, and also the other pioneers, yeah. Benjamin Franklin was an outstanding statesman and also outstanding scientist. He investigated the ability that some object can produce a net charge, yeah, and he is the first person to perform experiment to prove that there is electrical charge which can attract lightning, yeah. So one of the famous experiments Benjamin Franklin is he put a metal key on the kite, yeah, on a kite, and he let the kite to fly during a stormy weather, and he observed that the lightning is attracted to the metal key, yeah, which is interesting, and this is the first discovery of electricity that can be consisting of positive and negative charges. And he found that the positive and opposite, yeah, negative, will attract each other. When the same charges are there, they will repel each other. Yeah. So this is also a law of nature which apply to social life. Yeah. We are mostly attractive to the opposite. Yeah. Okay. What is electricity in the microscopic observation? You can read this by yourself. Yeah, the electricity comes from the world of electron. Yeah, the smallest part of an object. Wait, let's check the waiting list once more because okay, I think okay. I noticed that the participant today is only 24. I don't know where the others are. Yeah. But if they are waiting in the room, please inform me. Yeah. So here you can see electrons, yeah, surround the positive nuclei, which is atoms. And it's also interesting to see that the radius of electrons in comparison to the radius of the nuclei or the center of atom is like 1 to it's like when you imagine an apple and the diameter of the atom is the whole IPP in Dharmaga, yeah. So most of the atom is empty space. Most of the atom is in empty space, and therefore when you put some alpha beam in the atoms, 99% will follow through the atom. Yes. So or actually all the solid state like our bodies and so on are just 99% is air or vacuum. Yeah. But because of the small distance, we cannot see that we have consist mainly of free space or vacuum. Yeah. So this is the amazing thing, yeah, that electrical charge is actually produced by atomic structure. Yeah. Yeah, and you can also classify material based on how easy it can conduct electricity. All of the three material class are very important. Why? Yeah, because you can see that the material class determines the properties that we need, like conductor. We use conductor to transmit electricity. Yeah, Also, insulator is used usually to produce isolation of conductor. Like conductor wire is very dangerous if you don't isolate it. Semiconductor is also very interesting because it allows us to manipulate whether the electron can move or not. So semiconductor is like the middle between conductor and insulator. And the modern technology, is enable us to produce so many interesting applications because we have the three types of material: conductor, insulator, and semiconductor. Especially semiconductor is the basics of all microelectronics transistors, which consists of a positive and negative diode. Yeah, so semiconductor enable us to create microelectronics because we can now able to control the flow of electrons. Yeah, although it's already 60 years from the discovery of semiconductor, first in the United States, by Nobel physicist Schottky. Yeah, but nowadays in 2020, most of our technology will shift towards not electronics but optics, because we then use the flow of light, which is much more faster than electronics. Like the fiber optics is used in internet connection. You can see with bandwidth is very large and ability to transform up to terabytes per second. Yeah. So actually, we are moving now towards modern physics. Yeah. You can see a participant. Okay. So, is there any friends that cannot join? If yes, please just stop my lecture and I will allow them in. Yeah. Okay. So the basic law between two charges, single charges, is very simple. It has analogy with the law of gravity. When you remember, the law of gravity is equal to Fg per r squared, and the law of Coulomb's, which is the law of attraction between two charges, is the same K1 K2 per r squared. Yeah, and you see the same charges will repel, the opposite charge will attract. So when calculating Coulomb's law, usually the sign, we don't really care about the sign, but we first measure the magnitude, and after that determine based on our intuition when positive and negative, then the two arrow will be close to each other. When they have the same charge, they will be to opposite each other. Yeah. So this is the law, and also the force is following the vector addition, and also the field is following the vector addition. So if you have many forces, you just have to use vector addition, and vector addition is simple, but you have to use sometimes Cartesian coordinate. uh, for example, if we have like an angle here, we can find the magnitude by using this law. So f1 squared plus f2 squared. If, for example, the cosinus is 0, then you have the same direction and this become 1. Yeah. If cosinus is 90 degrees, this becomes 0. Okay. Yeah, we have you just follow mathematics. Alpha, theta, and so on. If Pythagoras theorem is applied, it's just f netto is fx squared plus fy squared. And maybe you are still remember this movie. I really like this movie very much. I think it's the Dark Seed. This is a part of the serial Star Wars. Star Wars is one of the hype in the United States and other world. Also now we have new series of Star Wars, and one of the most fascinating thing that also I agree is the lightsaber. Usually this red saber belongs to the evil forces. Like Darth Vader, Darth Sith, and there's also this green saber. Maybe you already know this character, Luke Skywalker. He used this green saber, and also there is another white saber, and also black saber. So what is the ability? It's an interesting discussion whether we can in fact realize this Star Wars weapon. It turns out that it is not that simple because it's not easy to confine light like a sword. Actually, when you have a lightsaber, usually the light will extend. The light will extend and the power will decay. So it's not so easy to produce a lightsaber. But some other technologies like plasma, maybe it's possible to create some lightsaber. But this is another discussion. So uh, in the electric field line, you can see here is the line that is directing from positive and going into the negative. Because of the convention, if two positive charges are close to each other, they will repel. So I mean, the direction of the magnetic, the direction of the electric field is the same as the direction of the force. Yeah. So the direction you have to consider, based on the convention. If positive charge, the direction is outward. Negative charge is inward. So, and if there is two electric fields, it will produce a kind of two poles, which is called dipole. Yeah, dipole consists of positive and negative charges, and the line of fields is like this. For example, if you put here a positive charge on this position here, and what is the direction of the force here? The force is, you can calculate, is equal to Q times E. So the charge here is Q, and E is the electric field here. And the direction of the force is following the direction of the red line here. So always the direction of the force following the direction of the line of the field. So, and show this line of the field is an imaginary concept. What is imaginary? Imaginary is a model from our mind. So this is actually because of the easiness in application. We don't really know if the line of force really exists like this. The line of electricity, what we measure is usually the force. The field, the electric field, and this is the electric field line, is an abstract concept, like mathematical manipulation from our mind to easily explain this phenomena. Call action at a distance. Action at a distance. Why? Because it interacts not directly. There is no contact. So the interaction is more between the interaction is more between the charge and the line of electric field. So it's interaction between the field and the object. And that's why we say that electricity is a theory of action at distance, mediated by the field, which is an abstract concept again. So this is physics is more modeling, modeling about the reality, not really explaining what is the reality itself. It's just something like philosophical question. As you see that the force is direction and the field is the same. And if for negative, then the direction of the field is towards the negative. The definition of electric field is the force divided by the test charge. It's important. This is a test charge here. So don't say this is the charge at the source. No, this is the test charge. Test charge. What is test charge? Meaning that, for example, this is the source 1, source 2, source 3, and you want to find the electric field here. So key null is key 0 is this one. It's not the source. The source is not key 0 but key. So in the calculation of the electric field, divide by the test charge, not by the source. You want to know the electric field at the position of the source, you divide by the charge of the source, because you don't want to affect the electric field here. This is just test charge. So it should be eliminated by dividing with the test charge. So the test charge does not affect the electric field. The electric field is affected by the source, because F is chi Q1 Q2 per R square. So any other people that cannot join? All can join. Okay. So let's go on with the second slide. Oh, what is the electrostatic potential? Electrostatic potential is just like potential energy. You remember in your lecture about gravitation that when you have an object here, there's potential energy, right? Because the potential energy is due to the position, right? We have M, G, and H here. You see, the object has potential energy. It's the same in electricity. If you have here a negative charge, and here you have a lot of positive charge, then what will happen? Then the negative charge will be attracted to the positive charge. In this case, when it stays in this position, it says that the negative charge has also a potential energy. This is the analogy with gravity. The gravitational field now replaced by the gravitational electric field. Sorry, yeah. The gravitational field in analogy is the electrical field. Yeah. So we have this electrostatic potential given by this formula. Yeah. This formula is just like formula is PE is equal to K Q1 Q2 per R. Where does it come from? It's from R quadrat, actually R squared times R, because this is the force, and we know work is force times distance, right? So the R will eliminate, and then what is left is just this one, yeah? So we don't have R squared anymore, no? We have R here because of the units of this is energy is the unit is work is same, yeah? Energy is in joule. Yeah, so we have this is correct dimension here. Let's go. So we can store charges using capacitor. Yeah, capacitors usually consist of two plates. Actually, it's interesting to see capacitor. Yeah, capacitor. Capacitor has two slabs. Yeah, but usually is formed like this in the electronics. Yeah. Like this, yeah, with three fits, yeah. In electronics is actually, yeah, this is actually cylinder is which actually consists of two layers, yeah, which is rolled together to form like a foot like results, yeah. So or like roulette, yeah, not roulette, what we call it as like a rolling bread, yeah. So it's actually this form of cylinder is actually two plates which is rolled together and put the feet, yeah, one feet in the positive, one feet in the negative slab. So this is the just the outer the outer shape of the capacitance, yeah. Actually it consists also a base of two plates, yeah. Okay, what else? The capacitance is the amount of charge that it can handle, which is equal to the vacuum permittivity, the area of the slab, yeah, and the distance between the slab. This is why we can go to the keyboard, yeah. Keyboard for the computer. When we touch the keyboard, it will change the distance between the slabs, and this will cause a change in capacitance, will distract the voltage in turn, yeah. Because here you can see that the charge is depend on the capacitance and also the voltage. Yeah. And here's an important relation between the potential and the electric field. Yeah. Yeah, so you see capacity, electricity, yeah. So the energy of the electricity can be stored, yeah. It's given by the integration, yeah. Sorry, it's given by the integration of the C figure. So you have here, for instance, key figure like this, yeah. Key figure. The area below here, yeah, is the amount of work. So what you do the integration, yeah. You have to do the integration and you arrive at this formula here, who is equal to half CV squared, yeah, because still remember K is equal to CV, yeah. So CV squared is actually equal to K times V, yeah. CV squared, yeah. Just substitute this with this is the same, yeah. And also you have V is then equal to what? V is G per K. So these three forms are equal, yeah. What do you substitute here? Yeah, if you substitute not the C, but you substitute the V, yeah. V is equal to what? K per C, right? Nah, K is equal to V is equal to K per C. Sorry, K per C. So V is equal to K divided by C and V squared is equal to Q squared C squared. Put it here, you can arrive at this one. Yeah. So just try yourself. And this is the important. We sometimes we want to know how much energy is stored in a capacitor. Yeah. So what we can do to increase the capacity? Actually, we can put besides air between the two layers also a dielectric material. Yeah, is a material that is active electronically, which is a dielectric, and can produce some interesting effect. So this dielectric can be used to enhance the capacity. When you put a dielectric inside, it always have intrinsic value called kappa. Kappa is the intrinsic value of the capacity, which gives you the increase of the decrease of the voltage. Because when you put here some dielectric, what will happen? The initial voltage difference will be decreased because now the field will be disturbed by this dielectric. It will be disturbed. Yeah, the electric actually consists of so many millions of dipoles, millions of dipoles. These dipoles will then disturb the electric field. Yeah, you can read in a more advanced book. Yeah, but the point is that the insertion of the electric will increase the capacity by an amount of kappa. So for the electric, kappa is mostly more than 1. Yeah, increase the capacitance to a new capacitance. So the volume will decrease, but the capacitance will increase by the insertion of the electric. Okay. Yeah, and you know the electric and series and parallel is just the opposite from resistance. Yeah, why? Because you know in a series, yeah, in a series the what is constant in series? In series the constant is the current, right? And in parallel the constant is the voltage. So in parallel the current must be added. Yeah, the current must be added. Look, current is equal to charge per time. So we can change the current also is equal to charge conservation. Yeah. So you see the amount of key that is flowing here must be divided, and when they will combine, there is also the same charge. So it means that there is conservation of charge. Yeah, the charges will stay the same. Yeah, it's like the ideally the amount of money in society should not change. Yeah, if this is happened, then there is no inflation. Yeah, but because of the constant flow of the goods and also from the industrial, it's so hard to make the amount of money is constant. Yeah, so always inflation, but the charge, the amount of charge is in nature is always conserved. Yeah. So because of the conservation of charge, the charge that go from the left and right must be same as the input. Yeah, K is equal Q1 plus Q2, and you know K is CV. Because the voltage is the same, yeah, what is left? For parallel capacity, just add them up. Yeah, but for series is the opposite. Yeah, because now the current is the same, the voltage is the addition. So the voltage to the addition, and then put key per C here, C is the same. Sorry, key is the same. Yeah, key is the same because the current flows. Yeah, this is also a conservation current. Yeah, yeah. Left with this equation. Okay, and these are the exercises with the solution already given. Because of the limited time, I urge you and I very encourage you, after you read the slides, please follow the exercises, do the exercises, or at least look at the answer because it's already provided here. Yeah, please study hard because, as I say, the key to mastery in your subject, what determines your score is not only the ability to learn and listen to me, but also to do the exams, do the problem solving, yeah, by yourself. Okay, until now, please, if you have any question, yeah, you can ask me. Yeah. Okay, if there is no question, let me move on with the second slide. Yeah. So second slide is about electrodynamics. Oops. Yeah, I know. This is the for many of you who fast. Yeah, maybe you feel tired. You feel very yeah, yeah. bored, yeah, or not bored, you just you wanna drink, you wanna eat, yeah, you have to hold. But at least with this lecture, yeah, it feels that the time flows very fast, maybe. Yeah. Okay. If there's no question, I will continue with second slide. One of the very interesting application is this storm lightning, yeah. And Bogor, Bogor actually has the largest storm rate in the world, yeah. So in Bogor, like in 1 year, you can count that there are so, I mean, like 100,000 or more lightning. Yeah, this is really, really, yeah, one of the natural phenomena which is unforgettable. Yeah, because it it can kill you. Yeah, uh, you see, you feel always when there is like lightning, is people always get afraid, and it's very normal. Why they get afraid? Because they are afraid that they will be get struck by this lightning. Yeah, I hope that all of you will be safe from this. Yeah. So cases, yeah, what is lightning? Actually, lightning is because of the difference in the distribution of charge between the ground and the cloud. And there is also lightning between the cloud, actually, yeah, which is causing problem for some airplane transportation. But actually the ground is very, very negative, yeah. So sorry, um uh, the ground is very attracting electron, yeah. So like there is accumulation of electron in the ground and also positive charge in the ground, and because of this difference, even the air can transmit electricity. So there's lightning poof like this, yeah. And this is really, really one of the amazing natural phenomena, yeah. And why do we have to put anti-lightning in a high building? Yeah, usually, it will produce an anti-charge which will be not interesting for the lightning to go there. Yeah, so it will neutralize the air around it. Okay, this is the so for example, you have electrical heater to boil the water and so on and so forth. And one of the application of dynamic electricity in the future is vehicle. Electric vehicles are very low emission rate, yeah, and also quite reliable. Actually, we have I think in 3 or 4 years, maybe you will drive or you will use this electric vehicle. It is getting more and more popular, especially with the company Tesla, yeah, which is also competing with some competitors around the world to produce a affordable electric vehicle or cars, yeah. And you can maybe guess the power of these devices here. I think for the lamp it's just around 11 watt, and for radio around like 300, computer around 800, and so on. Yeah, this you can, I think, guess from your daily experience. Yeah. So what is electrical current? Actually, we have studied before that we know that there is a charges like electron, and electron can move. Yeah. Of course, we don't know what is the current. Yeah, it's mystery. Yeah. What is current? In an ontological question, like philosophical question, what is really electricity? I think this question has been arised by Nikola Tesla, the great inventor, and even he said it's still a mystery. Yeah, but in physics, we know the characteristics that it produced by the electrons, although we don't really know what electrons are. So we really don't know actually what's going on. Even though this condition, we can be quite confident that we know that electron can be modeled, yeah, and that charge can be modeled, that the current is actually can be modeled like this kind of electrons moving, yeah, like a point particle. Actually, we don't really understand what an electron shape is. Yeah. So what is actually current? It's like a little bit magic involved here. Yeah. So we have to be very careful when discussing physics. We are talking about how to model natural phenomena into like yeah, what we say, natural phenomena we model into simple descriptions, simple imaginations. Yeah, what is really happening is another matter. So the unit current for yeah, the definition of current is the amount of charge per unit time flowing through a cross section, and the units of current is therefore ampere, which is equal to coulomb per second. Yeah. Current is conventionally assumed at the flowing of positive charge, which in reality is actually the negative charge. Yeah, but it's because discovered before G.G. Thomson discovered the electrons as you can actually determine which charge is moving by using a magnetic force which will bend the electrons, producing a voltage called the Hall voltage. Yeah, when you already know that in physics there is Hall effect, which is used to distinguish which charge is moving. Yeah. Nevertheless, the relation, if the charge and the current is not very extremely high, the relation between voltage and the charge is linear. This relation is known as Ohm law from Georg Siemens Ohm. Yeah, you increase the voltage twice, you get an increase in the current twice too. So this kind of increase is called linear increase. Yeah, whereas the resistance is a constant because usually it is in a fixed value. Yeah, the resistance is in a fixed value. Actually, it's the gradient. Yeah, you can find the resistance by calculating the gradient. The gradient is what? dy per dx. Yeah. So this is the Ohm's law, and resistivity is the amount of resistance which is produced usually like a filament or something, or you can buy this resistance in several amounts of kilo ohms that you would like, yeah, in a material shop, yeah, in electric material shop. And the resistance is the intrinsically not dependent on voltage or charge. Yeah, it's dependent on the density or rho. Yeah, resistivity, the length, and also the area. The higher the length, the higher the amount of obstacle, right? And for large density, also this large obstacles with a higher A, that means a smaller resistance. Yeah, because then you can move more freely. So what is the rho? Yeah, rho is the resistivity, is also intrinsic parameter, depend on the material type. You know, there's conductor, insulator, and conductor has low resistivity, insulator is high resistivity. And this resistivity is intrinsic, like the purity of material and so on. It is therefore dependent on temperature. You see, the higher temperature, usually the atoms move faster. When the atoms move faster, it can produce more collision. So in this case, you can see that the resistivity will increase when the temperature difference also increase, and the amount of how long it will cause the factor of the larger intrinsic resistivity rho depends on also on value called the temperature coefficient. Yeah, how much will the increase in temperature affect this intrinsic resistivity. Therefore, we introduce this alpha coefficient because it's material dependent. See, it's material dependent. There's some data on resistivity of materials. Yeah, and you can see silver and gold has very low resistivity and therefore are good metals conductors. Yeah. Only 10 to the power minus 8 ohmmeter. Whereas for like water, alumina, phosphorus, quartz, iodine, they have very high resistivity. Yeah, and this is an interesting question that I would like to ask. Yeah, or maybe the story about why birds do not die when they hang on this current wire in the installed by the electrical company. You know, there is like cable wire. This, yeah. Let me just paint a picture about this. Yeah. Yeah. See this. So yeah, you have this wire attached, and then there is a bird here, but the bird doesn't die out. Yeah. So maybe Pavin, can you turn on the microphone?
Yes, sir.
I just shared the screen. So like for 20 minutes, I talk by myself and I don't share the screen. Is that correct?
No, sir. You're sharing the screen.
Oh my God. So I just, okay. So Pavin, can you tell me why the bird doesn't die out when they hang on the wire, on the electrical company wire that supply us with electricity in our home? I think you have noticed that some of the birds. Please forgive me for this picture of the bird because I'm not so good at making picture of the bird. Yeah. So just imagine this is a bird, although this is definitely not a bird. So Pavin, can you give reason why the bird does not die when they hang on the wire? Based on the your logic and your understanding of electricity.
So maybe it's not direct contact with the electric.
Yes, this is true. Which one is not in direct contact? The feet is
The
not
feet,
touching
yeah,
the
the
ground.
feet in the wire, I guess.
Yeah, the feet is touching the wire, but not the feet is not touching the ground, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the feet touching the ground will produce a closed circuit. Yeah, you know closed circuit.
Uh-huh.
Closed circuit is like circle. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And one of the main reason also, yeah, the wire is conductor, but there is something that is wrapping up the wire. What is wrapping up the wire? Is it conductor or isolator?
So it's an insulator, sir.
Yeah, insulator. That's the reason, yeah, why the bird is safe because it's isolator, and the body is also a bad electrical conductor, right? So the wire, so the current will not flow through the bird, but will just flow through the wire, right? Is it correct?
Yep, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kumar.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is the correct answer by Kumar. Yeah, here's electric potential. What's this? Am I sharing? The wrong slide. Wait. Electrodynamics. Yeah, this actually I should share this. Okay. Wait. Yeah. So okay. As you can see on the screen now, yeah. Electrical energy and power. Why we need electrical energy and power? Yeah. You know, power is defined as the amount of energy flow through a unit time. Why we need power is because we also calculate the amount of time we apply on an electrical object. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I wanna ask one. Suganti. Hello. Suganti, can you turn on your mic? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So Suganti, why in the electrical company, what is important is the power. Yeah, we always like use kWh, kilowatt hour. Instead of joule, we always they always give us the bill or token as kWh. Yeah. Why do they always calculate power? Yeah. Or the amount of energy per unit time. You have any suggestion or any ideas? What is the importance of using power as measurement? For example, Suganti, you use air conditioner. Yeah. Air conditioner for 1 hour and 10 hour is the same or not? The energy.
Different.
Yeah, energy is the same. What is the difference in power or energy?
The power.
Yeah. Why is different?
Because the time used is different.
Different. So it means that you have to pay like 10 times more if you use 10 hour than 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Suganti. So this is correct. Yeah. 1 hour and 10 hour use is not the same. So the electrical company will charge you difference depending on the amount of time you use the device. Yeah. Very good. So power is equal to V square per hour. Yeah. Why V square from which? Yeah, because you know, E is given by V times I. Yeah, this is can be derived actually. Yeah, from the definition between E is equal to V divided by D. Yeah. I have to look at the book again. But for now on, just imagine, yeah, electric field is equal to V times E times delta T. Yeah, so we have this formula here, yeah. Put this formula here, then you have this formula, and V is equal to I times R, which is Ohm law for the linear system, and you arrive at this. Yeah. Okay. So this is current measurement, voltage measurement. Current measurement must be conducted in series, yeah, because of the conservation of the charges. You know, in series is the same current, so current must be measured in series. Whether for the voltage measurement, you know that parallel has the same voltage, therefore must be put in parallel. Yeah, just simply like that. Yeah. Yeah, so we know this DC circuit, yeah, is given by this Ohm's law. V is equal to I times R, yeah. So the V of the battery is usually called electromotive force or EEF, yeah, EMF, yeah. So this law you already know from high school. What I want to teach you now is like this. If there is like before the battery, the voltage is always zero. Remember, before the battery, the voltage is always zero. After meeting the battery, the voltage will increase, yeah, the potential will increase. And after that, meeting a resistance, the voltage will drop. So this resistance will produce a drop equal to I times R. Remember, I is the same with
Sir,
the series. Yeah. Yes. What?
sorry, but I uh, I I got from another friend that she still hasn't been accepted to this.
Okay. Thank you for informing me.
Yes, sir. Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. This is necessary. Good. So, are they in? Just ask them once more. If not, then you can interrupt me. One more, yeah. So, this is the logic. Voltage, resistance drop, zero again. Going voltage increase, resistance drop. Yeah, just like this. When there are more than one resistance, voltage will drop 2 times. If the resistance is the same, voltage will drop at the same rate, like minus I times R, minus I times R. R1 is equal to R2, the dropping is the same. But at the end is always zero, yeah. So meeting the battery again is zero. After battery will increase, meeting resistance will decrease again. This is how the use the logic like this. Yeah. One of the requirement is the circuit must be closed. Yeah, closed circuit. Okay, so let's go with the next slide. Yeah, battery is actually a system consists of chemicals, yeah, like anode and cathode, yeah. And usually we use like zinc for the metal and also for chemicals producing this kind of electromotive force. And the battery can be modeled with having internal resistivity, yeah. Internal resistivity, yeah, is actually a model of the amount of the battery has been exhausted. So after battery lifetime increase, the battery performance will decrease because the chemicals will not be able to fully recover again. Therefore, the electromotive force will always decrease. This kind of R gives you the amount of decrease. For example, you have battery is 3 volt. After some time, it will decrease by I times R small r. Usually the small r is just 0.000 something, but it will increase as the time increase. So this is just model. In reality, there is no internal resistance. Internal resistance is a measure from the chemical decrease, the chemical drop. So we model this is linear model. We model this because it will give us convenience, yeah. It will enable us to make technology, but the reality is not like this. Yeah, it's more like chemical decrease. Yeah. So this is internal, and you can see here because of this R here. Yeah. Yeah, you can have here R like small resistance here. So the voltage will drop, gradually drop until the small r is equal to the big R. When this happens, then the battery is fully not operable anymore, must be recharged again or disposed. Yeah. Yeah, and you see here when you have series, what is the equal in series is the charge is the same, voltage is addition. So V1 plus V2 is V. Using this, you have arrived at this formula here. Yeah. So you can see here in my picture, V1 is equal to V2 plus V3. Yeah. So V is E times R plus E times R, which is I total times R total. I is the same. You can eliminate I. So R total is equal to R1 plus R2 or R2 plus R3 in this case. Yeah. So this is the equivalent. It's the same. Yeah. For parallel, equivalent is the opposite because now the voltage is the same and the addition is the current. Yeah. And we arrive at Kirchhoff law. Kirchhoff law states that the amount of current in must be the same as the amount of current out. Because of what? Because of the conservation of the charges. Yeah. So we have arrived at Kirchhoff law. So because of this Kirchhoff law, you have the ability to calculate the current at each wire, yeah, because there is no current that is escaping. Yeah, what is escaping is the heat. The heat is escaping, but the current they stay the same. Yeah. So in this case, yeah, EA plus EB is equal to EC plus ED. Yeah. So the law says that the sum of all the sources, the voltages of the electromotive force, plus the total amount of I times R must be 0. Yeah. This is the case when you want to calculate, yeah, closed circuit using Kirchhoff law. Yeah, choose a loop. Yeah, choose a loop, and after that you can determine the current in each wire. Let me just give you an example directly. Yeah, like this one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Put like this. Yeah. You have a one loop circuit. This is easy. Yeah. Because as I told you, you see, when you start here behind the battery, yeah, what is the voltage? You can say, because you already learned, voltage is 0. After meeting battery, voltage will increase. How much it will increase? Voltage will increase as the same as the epsilon. After that, it will meet a resistance. The voltage will decrease, but not to 0, because there is another resistance. After that, the current move like this. It will meet a battery. Because the battery now has opposite sign, before it's negative positive, now it meets positive negative. The voltage will not increase, but rather decrease. So the voltage will decrease when it meets E2. Decrease by what? Decrease by epsilon 2. After that, first decrease by R1, I1, R1. After that, decrease by epsilon 2. And after that, decrease again by R2. And at the end, the voltage is 0. So voltage will go up, decrease 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. 1 times by R1 times I, second by I1, sorry, by epsilon 2, and then by I1 R2. So three times it will decrease. And go to initial condition is 0. Yeah. So okay. So we can write like this. Increase in the voltage is plus epsilon 1. Decrease always minus. Always when you meet a resistance minus. I1 R1 minus epsilon 2 minus I1 R2. Yeah. Is equal to 0. So epsilon 1 minus epsilon 2 is equal to, put the R and I in the opposite side of the equation, means that the sign must be converted opposite. Yeah, minus will become positive then. The sum of I, R. So in this case, we have come back to this formula. Yeah, the sum of epsilon, the sum of I, R is equal to 0. Yeah. Okay. Until this, any question? So I will stop like 2 minutes, yeah, to give you opportunity to address some question. Tired of fasting or tired of looking at my face? I don't know yet. Only you can answer your question. I'm tired of physics. Yeah. Yeah. I just sharing your story that whatever you wanna be, physics you cannot escape. Yeah. You wanna be a successful veterinarian, you have to know electrical current, yeah, how work of the electricity in animals, in the neuron. So yeah, you cannot escape. You wanna be a good veterinary. The problem is you have to use instrument, right? Measurement. I wanna find out whether my animal is sick or not. You have to understand the tools, yeah, electrical tools. How does a thermometer work actually? What is thermodynamics? Because of this, you cannot escape physics, but you have to like it, yeah. If you wanna become a very good veterinary. So, for example, you use infrared to measure the temperature of the animal. And then the person says, how does the temperature work? How can you determine whether this is sick or not? Because you see the signal is, you didn't answer to the person. So yeah, because this you can see here the red area is on the head and the blue area is on the body. For example, what does it mean? How can you give this conclusion? You have to answer. Yeah, that because the body emits different wavelength, because the wavelength depend on temperature. Temperature difference, infrared will be released. Yeah, the hotter the body, more infrared will be released, and therefore increase the intensity. It become the red signal. Yeah, so it's not something that you should underestimate physics. Yeah, don't underestimate. And also, for example, you want to know, oh, electricity, what is the connection? Of course, oscilloscope. For example, you want to measure the heart rate of your animals. Yeah, like what is wrong with this dog? Yeah, is it diet or not? Is it healthy or not? You measure the using what? Using electromagnetic instrument. You want to know how is the blood flow in the animal. You use this Doppler effect that usually also in hospital put on the hands. Yeah. You want to know about your instruments. This is all about physics. Yeah. So please don't forget the lectures that is given. Yeah. You can forget anything else, but please remember, to be a good veterinarian, you have to understand at least the basic physics. Yeah, inevitable microscope you will use, for example. Yeah, using microscope is optics actually. Yeah, how the lenses work, something like that. As a doctor, you have to be widely informed about the science. Yeah, doctor is also closely related to diagnosis and something. You must understand the basic physics. If not, then you just do some work which is based on uh, very low foundation. Yeah, very low foundation. So physics gives you also the way of thinking to analyze problem. For example, you want to understand, yeah, what is wrong with the side of a dog or a cat or animals. You have to understand the eye anatomy, and also that it is actually a huge camera. Yeah, because our eyes is like a huge camera. Yeah. Who told us that? Yeah, Ibnu Al-Haytham. Yeah, 1,000 years ago, already discovered that our eye is like a camera. Yeah, so you have to check whether the retina is okay, whether the pupil is okay, whether the lenses are still working, whether the dog has some problem with the lenses in the surface, how you treat the dog. Of course, not giving it glasses, no, but how you can minimize the problem when you have understanding of physics. Yeah, and this is the reason actually why physics is given to you in the early semester. Yeah, because it's one of the basic requirement of understanding the more advanced things. Yeah. Okay. So we share again, yeah. So back to electronic, yeah. Electronics. So like this one, yeah, you can measure the current using Kirchhoff law. Yeah. You have to understand this is a German or Dutch, yeah. So Kirchhoff, yeah, Kirchhoff, you know Kirche, yeah. Kirche is actually church, yeah, and Hof is the main terrace, yeah. So it's the terrace of a church. Okay, so one of the final problem you have to understand is for two loop circuit, yeah. Two loop circuit is not so easy because now you have to determine, yeah, using the loops here, yeah. First, determine the current. So our problem is to find out the current in all the resistance here. What is the current in all the resistance? You have this opposite battery, and the first thing you have to do is you just choose, yeah, two loops. It has not to be in this direction. Just do what you like, but then you have to understand if you have negative current, means then you have the opposite current is the correct one. Yeah, but the mathematics is the same. The magnitude doesn't change. So in this case, determine first the current using this looping. Yeah, make first loop and second loop. Determine the direction. Free choice. Yeah, you can free choose it. After that, what happens? After that, you follow the next step. Write down the equation of voltage here. Now, using Kirchhoff's second law in each loop, you can see here like this. Yeah. And then use algebra. This is just theory, yeah. Don't really care about this. What you have to do is just practice here. Now, please follow me, practice this. So using Kirchhoff's first law, you know conservation of charge, yeah, conservation of current. I is that the sum of I21 plus I2. Where is I? I is this one here. I is this, yeah. This is I1, this is I2. Follow the loop, yeah, and use my principle. When you start from battery, negative is 0, then will increase to positive epsilon 1. Yeah, so I will draw here. Start from where? Start from this point here. Negative epsilon 1 or positive? Positive, because negative first then positive. Minus 1 R1 minus I. You start here. Minus I1 R2 is equal to what? 0. And then you start with this loop starting from here. Remember, meeting positive first then negative. Minus E2. Because you meet here, follow the loop. Follow the loop. Here you have positive first, then this minus, voltage will drop. Minus I1 R2 minus I2 R3 is equal to 0. Then the rest is just mathematics. You know, this is the important thing. Determine the positive, negative. If you start negative with positive, positive. If you start positive, negative, negative. Yeah. Then do substitution in algebra to determine E1 and E2. Yeah. So you have to use all the three equations here actually, not the two, but all the three. I is I1 plus I2, and then this 2. Sounds difficult, right? Try by yourself first. We have loop 1 and have loop. Remember, look at loop 1, minus E1, right? This is actually why Pak Dodi use positive, this use negative. Yeah, I usually don't follow this. Yeah, this is also correct, but I prefer when you meet negative, positive, don't use negative, but use positive, I1. Why? When you use when you meet R1, why you use here positive? Because of Kirchhoff law, right? Yes, but I use different principle. I use minus. Always when you have resistance, use minus. I2 R2 is equal to 0. This is the same. If you put all the equation into the different side, A1 becomes minus, R2 becomes positive. Yeah. So this above and below is equally. So you can follow my rule or follow this Kirchhoff rule is the same. But why I follow my rule? Because I believe the voltage will increase. Yes. Yeah. Voltage increase when negative is positive. Yeah. Okay. So these are the problems which you can read by yourself. Please do the problems. Yeah, do it. Yeah. I don't want to discuss this because then you don't want to do it by yourself. Yeah. And we have other problems like this. And this, please answer the questions. Yeah, especially the last problem is the most challenging one. Yeah, please learn it very carefully. Okay, any question? I think I have finished the lecture today. Okay, Florencia, Dewi, is there anything you wanna ask?
For now, not, sir. No.
Yes, thank you. There is no more question from all. Then I wish you all a happy fasting time for those. And for those who not, I also wish you a happy time. So please do the problems. I know physics is hard sometimes, or many often, but this hardness will make you greater. Yeah. If you want to become a successful person, there is no easy way as to study, study, and study. Especially now there are many disturbance like phone, games, yeah. What else? Television, Netflix, and something. All of this give you, make you more lazy to study. But this is actually, if you wanna understand, yeah, all the technology that you enjoy is because of people that study physics. Therefore, if you wanna be one of a successful person, successful veterinary, you have to study, yeah. And after that, you can do the thing that you like. Yeah, so like study half an hour, and then you can do something else, study 1 hour, do something else, just do what's your rhythm of study. Yeah, for those who have limitation in study physics, please spend more time. Yeah, because it's like marathon. The more you practice, then after you are becoming very good at studying, you can decrease the amount of time. Yeah, for those who are very good in studying, only half an hour is enough to understand the lecture. Okay, if there is no more question, I thank you for your participation. Please remember to stay healthy, keep your distance, yeah, enjoy your life to the full, and always stay healthy, be optimistic. Thank you for your attention. Good afternoon, everyone, dear students. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace for you all. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.